Assalamu alaikum students. Today in thermal properties of matter, we are going to discuss specific heat capacity. In specific heat capacity, first we are going to discuss heat capacity, then specific heat capacity, and then how to solve the problems related to specific heat capacity. Now, first we are going to discuss what is this heat capacity. Heat capacity of a substance can be defined as the amount of heat energy required to raise the temperature of a given quantity of matter by 1 degree Celsius. For instance, if there is a block of iron or steel or a water or a wood there, if how much heat energy is required just to raise its temperature by 1 degree Celsius only. So heat capacity depends on the size or quantity, hence it is an extensive property, and the unit of heat capacity is uh, joules per Kelvin or joules per degree Celsius. Heat, if the temperature of the body is increased through T, first suppose that it has an initial temperature of T, and its temperature, if it is given heat energy, so its temperature raises to another T1. So the change in temperature on adding the heat will be the amount of heat, that heat capacity will be delta Q upon delta T. Now putting the value of Q in this, we know that Q is equal to mc delta T. So put the value of Q, that is the heat energy. This T and this T will get cancelled, and we are left with heat capacity is equal to mass into C, and this C represent the specific heat capacity of the material, where Q is the heat energy required to bring about a temperature change of delta T. C is the specific heat capacity. Larger the quantity of the substance, larger will be the heat capacity. Means that if 400 joules of energy is needed to bring a 1 Celsius change in aluminum, in a mass of aluminum. So if it is twice, so it means more heat energy, means that twice of the heat energy will be needed to just raise the temperature by 1 degree Celsius. Heat capacity is the intrinsic physical property of a substance that measures the amount of heat required to change the substance temperature by the given amount. In SI system, it is expressed, the unit will be unit will be joules per Kelvin or joules per centigrade. Heat capacity is an extensive property, meaning that it depends upon the size and mass of the sample. For example, a mass containing the twice of the substance as another sample means if there is a sample and there is another sample that is twice of the first sample, so the other sample that is twice requires the twice amount of heat energy to achieve the same temperature change. For instance, in the first, it is requiring, say, 10 Celsius of energy, just uh, 100 joules of energy is needed just to bring a 1 Celsius change. So if the another sample that is having twice the mass of this will be needing 200 joules of energy just to bring the same change uh, as the first sample. For example, if it takes 1000 joules to heat a block of iron, it would take 2000 joules to heat a second block of iron with twice the mass as the first one. So heat heat capacity depends upon the mass and the specific capacity of that substance. Now, what is the specific heat capacity of any substance or matter? It is defined as the amount of heat required to raise the temperature of a unit mass of a substance by 1 degree Celsius. Mathematically, it can be written Q is equal to mc delta T. So, Q is the amount of heat energy required to change the temperature change of uh, in mass m kilogram of a substance by T, and C is the specific heat capacity of the system. Now, you get the specific heat of a substance is the quantity of heat required to produce a unit change in substance per unit mass of the substance. And so its unit will be joules per Kelvin kilogram. The specific heat of the water is 400 joules per kilogram Celsius. How much the heat capacity of 2 kilogram of water? Now the specific heat capacity of water is 4200. Mass is 2 grams. So the heat capacity will be m into C. So you can see heat capacity is equal to m into C. That is, it is heat capacity is represented by the capital C. 2 into 4200, that is 8400 joules per Kelvin per Celsius. This represents the question 2. A 200 gram of cube of lead is heated from 25 to 75 degrees Celsius. How much energy was required to heat the lead? The specific heat of the lead is 0.129 joules per gram centigrade. Okay, all the units are given in gram and centigrade, so I'm going to continue with that. Let's first see that mass is 500 grams. Specific heat of the lead is 0.129, and the change in temperature from 25 to 75, that is 50 degrees Celsius. Now the formula Q is equal to mc delta T. Put the values in the mc delta T. Mass is given as 500. This is the specific heat of that lead, and this is the change in temperature. So it is 3225 joules of energy is needed for uh, to heat the lead till 75 degree. Yet another question, a 25-gram metal ball is heated to 200 centigrades. Mass is equal to 25 and the change in temperature is 200 degrees centigrade. Now how much heat energy is required? That is Q is equal to 2330 joules of energy is required. Now place the values. Q is equal to mc delta T. You will get 0.466, and this is the specific heat of the metal. Now law of heat exchange. If you mix roughly equal quantities of hot and cold water, you will end up with the warm water. We know that the temperature is of, the heat flow from the high temperature to the low temperature, and this flow continue that till they reach the thermal equilibrium, and the more is the temperature difference, the greater will be the rate of the flow. Now in this we assume that we mix a hot and cold water. The hot water will lose the thermal energy while the cold water will gain the thermal energy, and this process continues if when they are in thermal equilibrium. So uh, it follows the laws of conservation of energy, that energy lost by, obviously the hot body is losing the energy is equal to the energy gained by, and the cold body is gaining the energy. So the loss of heat exchange says the heat lost by the hot body is equal to the heat gained by the cold body when they are in thermal equilibrium. Now the law of heat, we are going to use law of heat exchange just to determine the specific heat of a substance. Now heat transfer in the system is calculated by using the formula m is equal q is equal to mc delta T, where q is the bared amount of heat transferred, m is the mass, c is the specific heat of the body, and T is the change in temperature of the body. Now we are going to apply this, solve this numerical by applying law of heat exchange. Heat loss by the metal In this, a metal weighing 4.28 grams was heated to 115 degrees centigrade. So in this, the values given are mass of the metal is M1, that is 4.82. It is heated to 11.50. It means the initial temperature of the metal is 115 degrees Celsius. Put into 35 gram of water. Now the mass of water is 35 grams. At a temperature 28.7 degree Celsius. So the initial temperature of water is 28.7 degrees Celsius. The metal and the water was allowed to come in the equilibrium. When both are in equilibrium, it means that no further flow of heat is possible. They are both at the same temperature now. Uh, Comes to a thermal equilibrium temperature determined to be 34.5. So they are thermal when they are mixed together and they are at thermal equilibrium. Their temperature is found to be 34.5. Assuming that no heat was lost to the environment, calculate the specific heat of the metal. Okay. Now the consider the heat capacity of water as 4.2 joules per gram degree centigrade. So we are going to pick the data mass of the metal, initial temperature of the metal, mass of the water, initial temperature of the water. After mixing both the water and the lead, we get the final temperature as 34.5, and the specific heat of water is given as 4.2 joules per gram degree Celsius. So by applying the formula, heat loss by metal is equal to heat gain by the body. M1, that is mass of the metal, 4.82 into C1 into uh, change in temperature. Now the note down that the change in temperature for metal. Now metal was initially at 115 degrees centigrade, and after putting into the water, after the transfer of heat and when they reaches take place and they reaches the thermal equilibrium, the temperature of the mixture water and lead is found to be together will be found is found to be 34.5. So 11.5 minus 34.5, that is 80.5. So Q, the heat lost by metal will be 4.82 into 80.5 into C1. That equals to the heat gained by the water. That is, in this numerical, the cold body is water. Now, for applying, substituting the value for water, the weight of the water is the mass of the water given as 35 kilograms, 35 grams. Specific heat of the water already calculated and found as is 4.2, and the change in temperature of the water. Now initially water is at 28.7 degrees Celsius, and after heating its value uh, become 34.5. So the change in temperature for the water will be 34.5 minus 28.7. So we are calculating all this. C1 is equal to um, multiplying 35, 4.2 and 5, 5.8, we get 852.6, and multiplying 4.2 into 80, we get 388.01. So substituting, finding the value of C1 by taking this product on this side, over here it is divided. So it is found that C1 is equal to 2.2, approximately 2.2, or specifically 2.19 joules per gram degree Celsius. So this is how we are going to um, determine the specific heat of any other metal by noting down its masses, noting down the initial temperature, final temperature, and temperature of the liquid. So this is about heat and specific heat. So it's Allah Hafiz, and thank you.